I didn't see her again for another 3 semesters went by before I saw this girl again. What happened was I had taken, a year later, I had taken an astronomy class. Professor Pitcairn in the Burke building on St. Mary's University. And I had taken this astronomy class. It was an introductory to the stars. It was divided up into 2. You did the stars first, and then you did the solar system. And there was another Vietnamese girl in there, very petite, ultra cute. She looked extremely young, so I wasn't going to bother trying to pick her up. But we ended up becoming friends and sitting together in the class. And the last week of our classes, in walks Tran. She had skipped the entire semester until the last week. And so me and the other Vietnamese girl, who happened to be her friend, a girl by the name of Fong, it's pronounced in English, pronounced Fong. Fong and Tran got together to study, and Tran wanted me to study with her, so that we'd become study partners. And we used to go to these cafes and hang out, drink coffee, and do a crash course study so that Tran could catch up on all the material that she had skipped out on the entire year, or the entire semester, I should say. Tran had extremely bad eyesight. If she didn't have her contacts on, her glasses, she couldn't see anything. But the amazing part about this is that 5 houses away from where I lived down the Armdale Rotary, on Shabukta Road, there was an Asian grocery store where I would buy my food. And it happened to be her father's grocery store. But I never knew that because I never seen her in there. Her sister was in there. She's 12 years old at the time. Or 13. I think she told me she's 12. And her parents and her brother. But I never ever saw Tran in there once. So I didn't figure it out until years later, actually. So the Trans eventually sold their grocery store on Shabukta Road and moved out onto the Bedford Highway near the Bedford Basin in Halifax. And she used to drive the delivery van for the family. When it came time to do the final exam on the Universe project, or the Universe class, Professor Pitcairn, she took the easy way out with Fong, and they wrote down all the answers that they thought might come up on the exam. They wrote it on their legs, and hit it with, so that at the end, near the end of the exam, Tran asked the professor if she'd go to the washroom, and Fong did the same thing. So he knew what they were doing, right? He wasn't stupid. You're a professor, you've been there for years, you've seen it all. And I didn't know at the time, didn't expect a thing. And afterwards, the 3 of us got together. She went up to Professor Pitcairn, thanked him for all his help in the classes and everything. We all did, 3 of us. And I told the professor that we were hanging out in coffee shops and whatnot, doing crash studying. He didn't say anything at all because he knew damn well what she did. And I could see it in his eyes, and afterwards I walked outside the classroom. We went over to Fong's car because she was having trouble starting it up. She wanted me to listen to it and see if I could identify the problem, which was spark plugs. And then the girls told me about their cheating, how they had written all the answers down and went to the washroom. And I was flabbergasted. One of Tran's problems was she liked to smoke.
Yo, microphone rap, go to war like a vet on the lyrical set, cause I'm a